If you want to win voiceover jobs from your home recording, your audio has to follow a certain standard. With Adobe Audition, you can meet that standard easily by following a simple 5-step process. In this video, I will teach you what exact effects to use for this 5-step process in Adobe Audition and how to configure them. Using these 5 steps, you can produce clean, clear, and professional voiceover demos and auditions every time that can win you voiceover jobs. If you'd like a PDF with all the steps and screenshots of their configuration, you can get it sent to your email. In the description and pinned comment, you will find the link to get this PDF. While the PDF has all the necessary steps, watching this video will ensure you apply them correctly. Let's see how to apply the process to a recording in detail. The recording you see on the screen is a raw recording. Raw recording means no audio effects have been applied to it yet. On this raw recording, the first effect I will apply is normalize. It is important to understand why we use an effect and how it is affecting the audio. I will tell you in a moment why I am using normalize as the first effect. Before that, let's try to understand what changes it will make to the audio. Normalize effect sets the peak level of a recording. In this recording, the current peak level is about -12 decibels. The peak level refers to the loudest point in your audio, and you can identify it by looking at the waveform. The highest point in the waveform is the peak. You have to consider both the upper and lower parts of the waveform to identify the peak. Through normalize, we adjust the peak level. The standard value for the peak level is -3 decibels. If I set the peak to -3 decibels, you get an idea of how much the increase will be in the peak. The same amount of increase will be on every part of the audio. Let's see that in practice. I will apply normalize from the Favorites menu. Favorites has shortcuts to several effects, including the normalize to -3 decibels. If I click on this normalize to -3 decibels, the peak will be set to the standard -3 decibels. After clicking on it, you can see that the peak now reaches -3 decibels, and the other parts of the waveform have also grown taller. However, normalizing does not always mean the waveform will get taller. Whether the height increases or decreases depends on the original peak level of the audio. Sometimes the peak level may actually decrease after applying the normalize effect. If you'd like a PDF with all the steps and screenshots of their configuration, you can get it sent to your email. In the description and pinned comment, you will find the link to get this PDF. While the PDF has all the necessary steps, watching this video will ensure you apply them correctly. I will skip the technical details of how the normalize effect works, but it is important to remember that setting the peak level to -3 decibels is necessary for the next steps of the process. By normalizing to -3 decibels at the beginning, you can follow the same settings that I will use later. There is another reason I use normalize as the first step. Usually, when we record audio, the volume tends to be lower than it should be. When the audio level is too low, the noise level is also low, and it becomes difficult to identify certain problems in the recording. By normalizing the audio to -3 decibels, the volume reaches a standard level, making common issues like noise easier to detect. The next step will be noise reduction. Noise reduction is the most popular effect among audio beginners. In fact, many beginners believe that noise reduction is the answer to all their audio problems. However, you should set your expectations right around noise reduction. Noise reduction can degrade the audio quality at a significant level if not done correctly. Also, it is not possible to remove every type of noise from the audio. If you have irregular background noise like dog barking or traffic noise, you cannot reduce that significantly. If you are looking for professional-grade audio, you must have to record without any irregular background noise. There is no exception to that. However, in addition to irregular background noise, there is another type of noise called white noise, or hissing noise. If the hissing noise is too loud, then once again, it will affect the audio quality. Your recording should have as little hissing noise as possible. To capture as little hissing noise as possible, you have to set your environment right. Still, some white noise or hissing noise can make its way into the recording. In such cases, you have to reduce that noise to an acceptable level using noise reduction. Adobe Audition has a bunch of noise reduction effects. We will use the denoise. Denoise is easy to use and serves the purpose well for reducing hissing noise. You have to configure the amount of noise you want to reduce. The higher you set the amount, the more noise will be reduced. However, a high reduction in noise will result in poor quality audio. I suggest setting the amount below 40%. On average, recording a value around 30 to 40% will do a satisfactory job. There is also another configuration for processing focus. If you know which frequency area is causing the noise, you can set the focus on that frequency area. I am using the first option, the flat line, meaning the denoise will be active on the whole frequency area. I will keep it in that way. I will apply this setting for denoise. After denoise, I will use an EQ effect. The EQ is quite complex and a vast topic. However, I will use a basic EQ that every voice recording should apply. There are several EQ effects available in Adobe Audition, and I will use the parametric equalizer. The parametric equalizer is flexible enough to do any type of EQ we want. You see my last used EQ curve here, and I will get back to the default settings. You will understand what changes I am making. You can see a flat blue line with some numbers or letters on it. These numbers or letters are called bands. Each band controls a certain frequency. You can see each band is associated with a frequency here. You can also change which band represents which frequency. You may notice I am using the term frequency quite a lot when I started discussing EQ. EQ is the process of manipulating volumes by frequency. That means you can increase the volume of some frequencies and decrease the volume of other frequencies. I will decrease the volume of some specific frequencies. The EQ I will be using is called a high-pass filter. A high-pass filter means decreasing the volume of lower frequencies and letting the higher frequencies pass as they are. That sounds too technical, but let me show you what I mean. You can see a band named HP here, which is currently inactive. I will click on it, and the high-pass filter will become active. You can notice the curve is cutting some lower frequencies in this region. The place where this cut will happen is set by frequency. Currently, it is 40 Hz. For voice recording, the frequency can be 70 or 80 Hz. If you know about the fundamental frequency of the human voice, then you will understand the reason. Fundamental frequency means the lowest frequency generated by our voice. Generally, human beings don't generate frequencies below 80 Hz. If your audio has some energy below 80 Hz, then it is most likely some kind of noise. If you use a high-pass filter around 70 or 80 Hz, those types of noise will be reduced. There are many advanced uses of EQ, like making a voice clear, crisp, or rich. But those are a bit advanced topics, and I will discuss that in a later video. For this beginner-friendly tutorial, I suggest you use a high-pass filter like this. I will adjust the frequency for the high-pass filter. My EQ curve is now set, and I will apply this. If I recap the order of the effects so far, it is normalize, denoise, and then parametric equalizer. The order of the effects I am using in this video is a beginner-friendly sequence. If you use this sequence, you are most likely to get an improved audio. The next effect I will add is a compressor effect. There are several ways to add a compressor effect to the audio. For example, you can see several compressor effects like single-band compressor, multi-band compressor, tube-modeled compressor, etc. However, I will use the dynamics to add a compressor effect. I am using dynamics as it is simple to configure. You can see three things in the dynamics: autogate, compressor, and expander. We will only use the compressor here. You may ask why we have to use the compressor. Well, a compressor reduces the dynamic range of audio. In simple terms, a compressor lowers the volume gap between louder and softer talk. That improves the overall listening experience, because you will hear every part of the audio comfortably after applying a compressor. However, too much compression will make the audio sound unnatural. It is about finding a balance that works for your recording. If your goal is to be in a professional voiceover or want pro-quality audio, the compressor and EQ will help you a lot. But the compressor and EQ are a bit complex concepts, and you will have to put some effort into learning them. For this tutorial, I will use a preset as a starting point. I will use soft compression. I will not use the soft compression as it is and will modify some of the configurations. Please note that after selecting soft compression, the autogate and expander are not selected, only the compressor is selected. It is important that the compressor is only checked. I will configure the threshold and ratio and keep the other value as it is. For a normal recording, the threshold around -15 to -18 works okay. If the audio level crosses the threshold, then the compressor will be active. I have set it to -15.4 decibels. If the audio crosses -15.4 decibels, the compressor will start compressing the audio. The lower the threshold you set, the longer the compressor will be active on the audio. How much compression it will do depends on the ratio. Usually a ratio between 2 to 4 works well for a voice recording. You may need to experiment with the ratio and threshold to find out the best compressor settings for your recording. Please note that I am using such a setting because I normalize the audio to -3 decibels at the start. If the peak level of the audio is different, these settings may not work. I will keep the other settings as it is and apply the compressor. The compressor is applied and the overall waveform looks more balanced than before. However, the compressor alters the peak level of the audio. After applying a compressor, you have to normalize the audio to get proper levels. I will normalize it to -3 decibels. The audio is now fully processed and has improved a lot. We can verify that by listening to the improved sound. I will play and alternate between the original and improved sound.
About noon the next day, the boys arrived at the dead tree. They had come for their tools. Tom was impatient to go to the haunted house. Huck was measurably so, but suddenly said, "Looky here, Tom. Do you know what day it is?" Tom mentally ran over the days of the week, and then quickly lifted his eyes with a startled look in them. "My, I never once thought of it, Huck." "Well, I didn't neither, but all at once it popped onto me that it was Friday. Blame it, a body can't be too careful, Huck. We might have got into an awful scrape tackling such a thing on a Friday. Might. Better say we would. There's some lucky days, maybe, but Friday ain't one of 'em. Any fool knows that. I don't reckon you was the first that found it out, Huck." "Well, I never said I was, did I? And Friday ain't all, neither. I had a rotten bad dream last night. Dreamt about rats." "No. Sure sign of trouble. Did they fight?" "No." "Well, that's good, Huck. When they don't fight, it's a sign that there's..."
This was the overall process to improve the audio quality as a beginner. If you want to learn Adobe Audition better, you can look at the Adobe Audition bundle. The bundle includes pre-built presets that will improve your sound in one click. In addition to that, you will get a personalized custom EQ and preset built around your voice, your microphone, and your recording space. You will also get access to an on-demand video course where you can learn Adobe Audition step by step. If your goal is to do professional voiceover or audiobook narration using Adobe Audition, this course is the best resource. You will get the link to the bundle in the description and pinned comment.